So we're going to talk about mindset and rumination today. These are the fundamental parts of getting a positive life and changing your mentality to the better. We're going to go as rumination first because arguably rumination is the most important thing that you don't want to do, or you want to do it in a healthy way. Rumination is where you cycle a thought in your head over and over and over and over, and it eventually drive you crazy. Now, there's a good and bad rumination. A good rumination is where you take a number in your head, like what's this number, or you're trying to solve something that you can't figure out, and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to put it aside for now. You don't even have to put it aside. You're just like, I can't figure this out. I'll think about it later. That your mind starts ruminating on it, and then later on you have a eureka, and you're like, I figured it out, and your brain figured out the thing. You're still thinking about it subconsciously. Bad rumination is where you get dumped, and you're like, oh God, I got dumped. And then you think about how you got dumped. And then you think about how you could have not got dumped. And then you think of the alternate scenarios of how you could have not been dumped. And then you think of what you could have done to make you not get dumped. And then you just go on and on and on and on until you've thought about being dumped for 16 hours straight. Now you're depressed. Now you're anxious. Now you're ready to go jump out the window. Maybe not that far, but you get the point. It just gets worse and worse and worse. Negative rumination is damaging to your brain. It triggers anxiety. It can make you depressed. It can make you psychotic. That's something that you really have to watch out for. You can go completely insane from negative rumination. So you don't want to do negative rumination, and I'm going to give you one of the things of how not to do it. And one, this is not going to work immediately. So I don't want to give you an extreme example, but something enough that, say your cat died. And I know even that's just holy, that's a little extreme, but your cat died. And you have to, in negative rumination, you're going to think about your cat dying, and you're going to possibly think of your cat dying over and over and over, and you're going to go insane. We're not going to do this. We're going to say, my cat died. How does this make me feel? And you're going to say emotion. Well, obviously, I feel pretty bad if my cat died. So you're like, okay, I feel bad. I don't feel great. My cat died. I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm possibly angry. I'm suffering for the grief cycle that happens when a family member or a pet dies. It's both the same either way. There you go. You're like, okay, this is it. I'm sad. You push it aside and you start doing something else as your day, despite that still happening on. I mean, you're going to be sad no matter what. And there you go. Rumination complete. Your body's accepted. You are sad. It's been moved aside. Is it over? Of course not. I mean, later on in the day, it might reappear. Your cat died. Of course, it's going to probably reappear again. And then once it goes, you reassess it. You're just like, yeah, the cat died. I'm still upset. I'm still sad. I accept this. I accept my emotions. I move on. And you may have to do this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 times because, one, that's just natural. Every time it'll get a little easier. And so now we go to an extreme one. You got raped or you got molested. And now you have PTSD from it because this is not something was out the proper mindset. This will destroy you. This will leave you a broken human being. Male or female, it doesn't matter. And you have to do it again, and you're just like, this happened to me. I has to break through this. And the one thing that I didn't mean for this video, but you have to do it, is you're not a victim. You're not. I don't care what's happened to you. You're not a victim. So this is so when your cat died, you're not a victim. Your cat died. It happened. You have to accept that. So, and it gets a little harder for rape and molestation because you have to say, I got raped or I got molested. I am not a victim. This happened to me. The rape is not me. I am not defined by being raped. I am not defined by being molested. I am not defined by my cat dying. I'm not defined by my psychosis. I am not defined by my depression. And I'm not defined by my anxiety. And your body really likes that. Your body really loves that as an answer because you can push it aside. That doesn't mean that it won't come back. You will have to keep dealing with emotional responses. Plus, the body will still try to ruminate at times because if you're thinking on it, your body will think, well, this is an important situation, and it'll continue to bring it up, thinking that it's really important. The brain will actually reinforce the memory part for that part of your brain so that you can think about it easier. So the rumination becomes more and more destructive. It's a horrible situation. So you're going to have to accept it. You're like, this happened to me. Okay, we'll go back to the rape. I got raped. I didn't, but I got raped. This is how it makes me feel. This is how I felt at the time. And then you have to move on to something else. And your brain will start saying, okay, this happened. I mean, this isn't downsizing it or anything. It doesn't make it any less happened. It just starts moving towards accepted part. And you have to accept it. Otherwise, it'll drive you crazy and you'll have to live with the rest of your life if you don't go crazy and kill yourself. Because you could. People do it all the time. You'll go crazy from rumination and then you'll just commit suicide, and that's it at that point. And nobody should ever have to go to that. That's a sad thing when someone was driven so crazy that the rumination drove them to the point they couldn't take it anymore and they committed suicide. That's not what you ever want. So that's two of the things that you need to do. One, you're not a victim. That you have to get that out of your head immediately. Two, stop ruminating over negative things. And this, I know, it's not as easy as said. It's not easy, but it's not hard either. Simply, if you catch yourself thinking about something negative, find something else to do. And I mean, it could do anything. I guess you can keep yourself busy. Get up and clean. If you have, here's some major things right here. Get up and clean. This includes yourself. If you haven't taken a bath today, go take a bath immediately. Or shower. I don't care. Find some way to relax. I mean, when you're sitting in the bathtub, try not to think of anything. Or if you are thinking about things, make sure that you accept them and get past them. Don't sit there and think about the same thing over and over again until you start driving yourself crazy, sitting in the bathtub or taking a shower. Most people would say, try not to think about things when you're asleep when you're trying to go to bed. That's fucking impossible. You will think about things when you're going to sleep because that's what your brain does when it's sleeping. It cycles through so many things when you're sleeping. When you'll have dreams about stuff, your brain ruminates like crazy when you're trying to sleep. So if you are having all those random thoughts or everything when you're trying to sleep, just cycle through them. I mean, just sit there and reflect on each one. Like, okay, what's made me feel like this? This made me feel like that. Just keep dishing through them. Your body's just like, oh, okay, there's an answer. There's an answer. There's an answer. And you'll find that that'll go away. You'll quit thinking about it later on. Like, then the next night, unfortunately, you're just going to have a whole bunch more of them because that's what your brain likes to do. It likes to solve things. Your brain hates unsolved situations. Now, you may encounter a situation where you don't have an answer and you're just like, I have to pay my gas bill. I don't have the money right now. Where am I going to get the money? I don't know. The proper answer for that is, I don't know. And then you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, so I'm going to put it aside right now because if I think about this more and more, I'm just going to go insane. So that's what you do, and you put it aside, and you might find a solution. It might pop up in your head, or you may not find a solution, but at least you're not sitting there going crazy thinking about the situation that's at hand when there's nothing you can do about it. If you can't do anything about it, then think about something else because, dear God, you'll go insane. But there you go. That's the best thing to do for positivity is gain control of ruminative thinking. Make sure that you're doing constructive ruminative thoughts. Don't overthink anything. Don't dwell on things. And dear God, don't dwell on negative things. Try to keep yourself busy. Try to, at least, I'm not telling you to be super happy at everything. At least try to keep a neutral point of view. Like, if it's a cloudy day, it's a cloudy day. There's nothing about it. Oh, there's a cloudy day because God hates me or something. Like, what's crazy thoughts are that? But that may still pop up in your head at times. And then you're not a victim. So if you wake up on a rainy day and you're just like, oh, it's a rainy day and I plan to do this, and why does everything hate me? Even Mother Nature hates me, and I wish I was gonna die. And nothing's gonna happen when you start thinking like that. But yeah, this is going at 10 minutes now, so I think I'll end it here. Control ruminative thoughts. Do not dwell on negative ruminative thoughts. Try to keep a neutral aspect at first. I'm not asking you to be truly positive, but if you can, that's awesome, because keeping a positive outlook on things is good. And now I do have to add this. I'm not asking you to be like to make a sunshine where dark things are happening. If something's bad happened to you, you may have to accept, okay, bad things are happening right now, and that's a neutral aspect. Accepting bad things are happening is a neutral thing. That's fine, and then you are not a victim. If you do these three, you'll start to notice that, I'm not going to say that life's going to be super happy and you're going to become wonderful and everything's going to become great, but things will become far less frustrating. And you may find yourself where you're like, I have nothing to think about right now. And that's exactly what you want. Sometimes you just don't want to think about anything. And yeah, I think that's about all I can think about those two situations now. My next video, I will definitely write something down so I won't sit here and just wander my thoughts trying to figure out stuff to explain stuff. I think this would be easier if I wrote like a page or two down so I can read from that. But yes, I'm going to stop rambling now. You guys have a good day. Try to stay negative. Try to stay positive. Or try to stay neutral at least. Do not ruminate thought. You are not a victim. You guys have a great day now.